One of the foremost factions in the Forgotten Realms is the Zhentarim, formerly a dark network of ruthless evil wizards and warriors bent on linking the Sword Coast with the Sea of Fallen Stars by the fastest, cheapest trade route to enrich themselves and slay anyone who got in their way. Nowadays, they portray themselves as smiling, trustworthy merchants who can get whatever you want cheaper than any rival can, because they appreciate you just so much. Do you believe that? I sure don't. So, what are they really up to right now? Dastardly deeds. Some schemes the Zhentarim are working on right now. Well, individual Zhents encountered by player characters can be up to almost anything. They have their own ongoing local plans, such as bully this trade rival, snap up that desirable warehouse by manipulating its owner into dire financial need, and then buying it at fire sale prices when he or she is desperate for coin, and corner the market on these particular goods so prices can be raised and profits with them, as well as the larger scope directives from on high. Sometimes local Zhents deliberately neglect or work slowly on these larger directives when they contradict ongoing local initiatives or involve behavior that will make life difficult for the Zhents in future, shattering a likable, trustworthy image by publicly murdering or coercing, for example. However, all Zhents have to seem willing, loyal members of the team when superiors from afar look their way, or their spies do. And all Zhents, if they've lasted alive for longer than half a season, know that the Zhentarim spy on fellow Zhentarim everywhere, and usually in layers of observers, some active and some passive. As the network saying has it, there are always watchers watching the watchers who watch the watchers. So that's the status quo among Zhents. But let's take a closer look at some, not all, I must caution, of the current larger network-wide initiatives. Right now, the Zhents are at work on 6 Scargs. Scargs is network lingo for operations. Highfist Scar. First and foremost, taking time and budget over all other doings, the Zhents are seeking to subvert several guilds in Waterdeep, buying the loyalties of guildmasters or blackmailing them, and covertly edging Zhent operatives into senior guild positions. So in future guild resources, warehouses, coin, shipping movements, wagons, barges, and crates and coffers can be used to help network activities, not just illicit strong-arm matters, but also daily make coin by shipping goods to shopkeepers and bulk buyers. The guilds targeted by the Zhentarim are the Fellowship of Carters and Coachmen, the Fellowship of Salters, Packers, and Joiners, the Fellowship of Innkeepers, the Guild of Chandlers and Lamplighters, and the Guild of Trusted Pewterers and Casters. The network has already subverted 2 guilds, the Fishmongers' Fellowship and the Guild of Watermen, in the mid-1400s DR. The Zhentarim are currently watching another 2 guilds very closely, the Most Diligent League of Sailmakers and Cordwainers, and the Wheelwrights Guild. Internal power struggles within these 2 guilds that have been patched up but not really settled lead the Zhents to think they're vulnerable to near-future attempts at network control. Their initial tactics will be to sponsor the right malcontents, arrange fatal accidents for key respected guild members who can pacify others, and squeeze the finances of other guild members until they feel desperation. Habrahome Scar. Named for Habrahar, a now-dead Zhentarim wizard who for 6 decades dwelt in Secomber, keeping his Zhent loyalties very well hidden, this initiative seeks to take over the policing and rulership of Secomber so it can quietly become a Zhent-friendly base of operations near Waterdeep. This is being done in 2 ways. Undercover Zhentarim, primarily unsuccessful prospectors and miners from Zhentil Keep seeking new careers, have been quietly infiltrating the town militia for the last 3 years, as the militia also acts as the town watch constabulary. Capable militia veterans are dying in Zhent-arranged accidents, and the Zhent militia members are by good service earning promotions and moving into senior watch roles. The elderly Lord Erebrunid Skaggold, a wise but weak for many diseases bristle-browed halfling male, is increasingly being advised by kind, sober, intelligent human and halfling woman who take over more and more of his daily duties as he ages. All of them, from engineer Jastra Hilvrand, neutral evil human female, rogue 7, through plumber Varzara Tonthel, chaotic evil human female, fighter 7, to privy clerk, that is bookkeeper, Lanandra Dullkettle, lawful evil, halfling female, rogue 4, are undercover Zhentarim members, and they are working as a skilled team, avoiding all infighting because they lack ambition, knowing their time in Secomber will end when a Zhent becomes lord. They will be paid off handsomely then and can take other roles all across the network. Their skills are useful in any settlement. Manycoins Scar. The Zhents are trying once more to subvert wealthy Athcatlan merchant families, this time by marrying into them, and, if need be, by kidnapping family members for interrogation about family facts and wealth, and using magical guises to impersonate these same family members. The network has been trying variants of these tactics for years, trying to get not just spies but implanted agents into the wealthiest mansions and money-lending halls of Athkatla, to get access to that city's warehouses, shipping fleets, caravan compounds, bulk buyers, and most of all, to its major non-temple, no-questions-asked moneylenders, or scores of its smaller moneylenders of this same stripe. This is the slow, long-term, but cornerstone essential holdover scarg of current Zhentarim endeavors. Elminster believes that at least 1 man and 2 women have already been replaced by Zhent imposters in the wealthy Athkatlan families of Dacemantle, Targe Silver, and Valamdark.
Ed, so I know how I feel about being involved in this project. It's a lifelong dream for me. But how do you feel about getting the opportunity to make videos for the Realms community at large?
I love it. I could spend every day of my life doing realmslore. I hope to, and I love doing this.
If you have been enjoying the fruits of Ed's labor, please consider becoming a protector of the realms by heading on over to patreon.com/EdGreenwood. And your support there, your generosity, not only directly supports Ed, the man, but it also facilitates us being able to continue creating these videos for you here. Or hey, if you don't want to become a patron, you can also support Ed in another way by heading to his shop. I will leave a link to that in the description, where you can get all sorts of super cool official adventuring gear. But for now, please enjoy the rest of the video.
Thank you. Zurk Scar. The Zur, in the name of this scarg, refers to Zurta, the old name for South Bank Scornubel, which is not where the Zhents intend their covert takeover of Scornubel to start. They have already begun hiring themselves out as house guards, warehouse guards, under many names, posing as independent small mercenary bands, such as the Blackhorn Swords, Gallivers Hardshields, and the Vardragon Guards. As of 1500 DR, all but 3 House Guard garrisons in Scornubel are Zhent in origin and true loyalties. The new Zhent mercenaries slipping into the city are offering themselves as personal bodyguards for wealthy merchants, both residents and visitors. The intent of this initiative is to softly control Scornubel by just being the hired muscle for everyone, not setting up any puppet rulers. Longtime local Scornubrian Zhentarim factors, that is trade agents, such as Orst Baldwin, a bluff, jovial, blondly handsome but increasingly fat, lawful evil human male rogue 9, and Yelessa Quendrath, a short, petite, sharp-witted and tongued, brunette of legendary capacity for strong drink, unbeknown to locals, she's been building up a personal tolerance for sleeping drugs and poisons for decades. Chaotic evil human female sorcerer 6 believe the key to success in this scarg is for Zhent mercenary guards to keep the peace in oft-lawless Scornubel so well, being always alert, prepared, and fair, that these guards will become trusted, not just tolerated. So if anyone exposes their Zhent past and current loyalties, no Scornubrian will much care. This initiative, if successful, will in time make Scornubel a Zhent city without any of the trouble of openly ruling it. Dragon Scar. This initiative is dedicated to occupying, renovating, and garrisoning Dragonspear Castle, to use as a base for Zhentalar patrols to serve openly as caravan escorts in the region and covertly as Zhentarim military muscle whenever needed. This is to be sold to nearby rulers as the installation of Andalas Murthrar, lawful neutral, human male, priest 10, a rising priest of Joaquin, as a local ruler promoting safe travel and trade in the region, with a wagon works, way-stop inns, warehouses, and the like under his sway in and around the castle. The Zhentarim will be contracted by him to provide security for the castle and for caravans approaching or leaving it, and will have no hand, officially, in governance. In reality, Dragonspear will be a Zhent pace, as undercover network members take charge of all maintenance, food supplies, and storage and preparations, guarding wells and pumps, and stabling and supplies of draft animals and mounts. Warmseat Scar. The Zhentarim are hungry to have at least 3, but ideally as many as they can manage, members among the ranks of the sitting masked lords of Waterdeep. They intend that such lords will put forward network-friendly policies and vote for anything the Zhentarim favor or that benefits the network, including slipping Zhents or Zhent-friendly individuals into the ranks of the Black Robes, that is, city magistrates, so court rulings can in turn benefit and favor the network. The Zhentarim have managed to place network operatives among the lords in the past, but never without at least some part of the city knowing or suspecting the Zhent loyalties of these individuals. The events that befell in 1491 DR, recounted in my novel Death Masks, eliminated several of these Zhents and compromised others. And there you have it, a quick glance at what dirty deeds the Zhentarim are working on in the realms right now. Let's see how far they get.